Hi, welcome back to Transform to One's channel. We are a faith-based organization whose vision is to foster transformational change through Christ-centered initiatives. One way in which we do this is by hosting our annual Navigating Trauma workshop series in person here in Jamaica. As we prepare for our upcoming workshop, which is themed Managing Grief, it will take place on November 1st. We've opened up a space on YouTube for persons who've experienced losses to share their journeys with us. We've chosen to do this to bring awareness to the realness of grief as real people experience it, and also to assist our listeners who've also experienced loss, just to help them to realize that they aren't alone and to share just how different our journeys can be. And that's okay, and in fact, it's pretty normal. While doing this, we also realized that it helped our guests to positively process their losses too. For this, we are grateful. Today's question is, if you feel you are in a place to encourage others who have gone through similar loss, what can you share? Here are our guests' responses.
I would say definitely go ahead and you pray. Find a support system. Find somebody who you can just talk to, non-judgmental, to the point where it will feel like maybe they're not interested in what you're saying, but they're just not. It's not their place to tell you what to do. It's just to say, "Me there, I am here." Express yourself. Talk exactly about how you're feeling. When you're feeling it, don't package it and then later you try to sell it. Deal with it now. Take your time. Take your time. There's no time frame that says you need to complete this activity by next week Tuesday. It doesn't work like that. Give yourself the time, give yourself the space to wallow, to grieve, to mourn, to manage it as best as you can. You're going to change through this. Recognize that you are changing. Recognize that you are making an adjustment because this tragedy has occurred. And as best as you can, protecting yourself, being positive, staying busy, not in an attempt to forget what has happened to you, but to help you to cope, to find that balance that says, I'm still dealing with this, but life goes on. I have to find a way to have the two coexist.
So before there is even a loss, cherish the time that you have with your loved ones. You really don't know what tomorrow will bring. But after you lose someone, I'd say try to think of the good times that you had with them. Hopefully you had good times, but try to think of those times. Try to honor them in whatever way that you think makes sense for you. And it's unfortunate, it's a part of life. I wish it was something that we were actually taught to deal with, because it can really, really affect you. But as cliche as it sounds, it really is not the end of your world. There is hope on the other side. Better days are coming. All the corny things that people say, it really is true. I couldn't believe that with the sadness that I was feeling, there would come a point where I would not be feeling that. And you may feel guilty as you are able to move on. You might feel like if you start to feel better, you're forgetting them. That's not true. Because truthfully, that is no way to live a life. 2021 is a blur to me because I wasn't living in the moment. I was just passing time. And I absolutely would never want anyone else to live like that. So I know that if you're freshly going through a loss, it's very hard. I sympathize with you, but just take it day by day. Do what you can do each day, and eventually you'll be able to cope. You won't necessarily understand, but you'll be able to cope, and that will lead you to be living a much more meaningful and fruitful life.
Ooh, I know it's hard. It's almost like you're losing your mind. It's almost like you're going crazy. It's almost like you're alone. But believe me when I tell you, you're not alone on your journey. Take your time. There's no timeline to healing, there's no timeline to loss. Don't let anybody make you feel like you should have been over a particular thing. Take your time. Yeah, take your time. Yeah.
So for anyone who's gone through or going through losing a job, I think that is important to take the opportunity to just kind of get in tune with yourself, find out what it is you really want, the direction that you want to be heading in. And it doesn't mean that you have to understand it all or have everything all figured out, but try to see it as an opportunity for something new, something different, something greater even to emerge. It really isn't the end of the road, and I don't want to diminish anybody's experience, because it is something that is hard, is something that shakes you. But just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It just takes some work, and it's okay to give yourself grace, because you're not going to just be okay, you know, because you talked about it once, you know, or a certain amount of time has passed. So just give yourself grace and be open to what's next. In terms of losing someone, I want to say, know that grief looks different for everyone, and there are a lot of people who will tell you be strong. You know, there are a lot of people who will say no, you can't cry because you can't do this because. And I think you know what you need when you need it, and it's okay. So if crying doesn't come to you right away, then that's fine, because that's also one of the things that I fought with. Because like I said, I didn't cry when my grandfather died, and I wondered if something was wrong, or if it is that I probably didn't love him as much as I think I did. But it's life, it just didn't come at the time, but the tears did come eventually. And so it's about just going on the journey and just allowing it to unfold. There is no specific route, there is no guideline. Yes, we have these different stages of grief, but even that you cannot control, because there's a particular order that we would say that it needs to happen in, or these different stages and how you flow from one to the next. But sometimes it doesn't happen in that order, and it's being okay with that. If it is that you need to talk, you talk. If it is that you need to sit in silence, then do that. Honor yourself and whatever it is that you're feeling, what you're going through, and what you need in the moment. Of course, lean into God and allow Him to guide you. I am only here by the grace of God. I never thought that I could survive losing anyone close to me, and for 29 years I got to live life without knowing what that felt like. But then suddenly I was losing two of the closest people to me, one in February of the same year and the other one in May. And so I didn't know that I could overcome that. I didn't know I could live through it. And it's not that I did anything special, but I just allowed God to continue to just carry me through.
For those who are grieving, those who have experienced some form of loss, don't look at the way how others grieve as a pattern you should follow. We all deal with grief differently. For some it's loud, for some it's a conversation that never ends, for others it's dead silence. For some it's humor. You may think that they are denying it, but it's the way that they cope, is the way that they treasure the memories. If you're a believer and the person who passed away knew Jesus Christ, just be confident in the hope that we share. But at the end of the day, don't let anyone tell you how to grieve. It's your personal experience. We are all unique. We have our own fingerprints. No one has the same ear pattern. Every part of us, even though we share things on this side of eternity, we're all unique. God made each of us different, and we should understand and accept our identity and how we're wired. So don't try to use someone else's wiring to fix your problem. And sorry, I shouldn't say problem, your situation. That's probably just my way of dealing with things. But yeah, so process it the way that works for you. But above all, process it.
You know that I don't think that a one method works for everyone. I have colleagues who have lost. I have a colleague who lost her mommy recently from cancer, and I remember the administrators at the school called to say, "Okay, it's right up your alley. You lost your husband." So I didn't know what to say to her. What worked for me probably, and some of the time you can say the right thing at the wrong time, because I've experienced that persons were actually trying to help me, but I didn't want the help at that time, so I didn't appreciate that. I honestly, when it comes on to assisting persons with grief, sometimes I feel useless. Useless in the sense that because I would have traveled the road, and when it I don't know what to say to them. I don't know. When my colleague mother died, all I could do was hug her. I couldn't say anything. I whispered in her ear and I said, even though I'm not saying anything, I'm saying a lot. Because I just didn't know what to say. This grief thing here, you know. I don't want normal something. I don't want normal something. You have to be so careful, like you're walking on eggshells. However, if I have to extend myself to help others, because like I said, I got help, that's why I am here now and I'm doing what I'm doing now. I will try my best. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because some of the time it's not like you can prescribe, say, all right, when, no, some of the time it's like on the spot, the moment. I'll do what I can do to assist, but I can't tell you what, because I don't know.